In order to perform a posterior oblique sling activation involving the right upper extremity and the lower left glute and lower extremity, what you're going to do is place yourself down onto your stomach, like so. You're going to place your right upper extremity with your upper arm in line with your shoulder, elbow bent to 90 degrees. If this is too much stretch on the shoulder or too much of a position, you can always bring the elbow down just a little bit. Okay, so right upper extremity is placed. With your left leg, you're going to bring it up so that your thigh is in line with your hip, or your knee is in line with your hip, creating about a 90-degree angle here. Again, if that's too intense of a position, you can bring it down, or you can bring it up higher if you want to. It'll just be a little bit harder for you to get muscle activation. Ideal position is here if you can. Now, I'm going to lay my forehead down on my left hand and let my head rest. The first thing I'm going to do if I want to engage the chain from the bottom up, I'm going to squeeze my left glute muscle, effectively thinking about pushing the front of my left hip down into the floor. So my left glute is engaged. Now, I'm going to lift my right hand up, which is engaging my wrist extensors or my forearm muscles on my right side. Once those two things are on, I'm going to pull my shoulder blade down, engaging my lat and my lower trap on that side. I'm going to try and hold here with these muscles, feeling all of these muscles being active for about 5 breaths or the recommended amount of time or prescribed amount of time. Okay? So once again, glute, left glute on, pushing my left hip down into the floor, right hand up, forearm laying on the ground. Then I'm going to bring my right shoulder blade down and in. So feeling my lower trap and my lat engage here. I'm going to hold here again for 5 breaths or the prescribed amount of time. Now, if you wanted to engage it in the opposite direction, you could go from the top down. So you could start with the wrist extension or hand up in the air, then pull shoulder blade down and back, and then fire your left glute where you're trying to push the front of your left hip down into the ground. It doesn't matter which direction you go, it kind of depends on what you're working on. If you're working on your shoulder and scapular muscles, a lot of times I like to start with the glute first because that fires up the chain and allows those muscles in the shoulder to work a little bit easier. If you're trying to get the glute to fire, it might make more sense for you to start at the top so that in the chain, the left glute muscles have a chance to work easier. Repeat as directed.